everything was going so well until my parents broke up. Now I have to have my bar mitzvah in Indiana. I don't even know anyone there.
So I thought that there were some really cute themes in this movie. Deborah, one of the themes that I thought was cute is that she kind of had to learn how to like let him go. I'm a parent, so I know I'll have to come to that point. But can you talk a little bit about that?
I really related to Jessica. I'm a single mom and to a son, and definitely going from a little boy to a preteen is a tricky transition. As a mother, you are trying to start to let them be autonomous and stop them from making mistakes and protect them. It's not an easy time, and I think it was written really honestly.
Yeah, I loved that it was talking about that time period. I feel like there's not a lot of content, talking about the middle school ages.
Exactly.
Eli, how was that for you?
Well, I mean, I really, this movie captured me in that moment where I was really transitioning from, hey, I was a kid, but now I'm not totally a kid, but I'm not big yet. I need to find the middle ground, and finding the middle ground was really important to just me aging and being able to get older and being able to really actually put a part of me into this performance.
And, there's a lot of changes. I thought your guys' kind of storyline had, the most depth in terms of the changes going on. So can you kind of talk about how they had to love each other through all the changes and those kind of themes?
Sure. I think when it comes to everyone at this time, you start having these disagreements of, I want more autonomy, I want more responsibility, but then you find yourself in situations and predicaments where, oh, do I need this much responsibility? Do I want this much responsibility? So it starts to get taxing, and especially on everyone in that situation. So when it really comes to getting older and learning how to love each other and still be able to, divide and share power when it comes to just, a mother and son relationship, it's really important that we covered that in this movie.
I think that Jessica is really suffering. And as a mother, you don't want to show your son that you're suffering. You want to be strong for them and hopeful for them. And to be going through a divorce and moving to a new town and living with my mother, there was a lot to try to, a lot of obstacles to that. And again, I thought that was very relatable.
Deborah, is this one of the reasons you chose the movie? Because, there's a lot of wonderful family, and it's a wholesome movie. It's got it's a positive movie. Were those some of the elements that you wanted to choose?
Well, coming off of the pandemic, to be able to be a part of something that was exuberant and celebratory and hopeful, just felt like, something I needed, and I felt like the world needed. Knowing that Jason Robert Brown was writing 3 new songs, one of them for me, and sort of adapting and adding adults, that just felt like a privilege. And the entire creative team, they're A++++. So I knew that I was in capable hands.
I want to know kind of what was your experience when you found out you had the part?
Yeah, it was really cool. Honestly, it was a different experience than I've ever had before. Usually when I'm in the mix for something that I'm like book, if, I get out of my final audition, and then like when I was with School of Rock, I didn't find out that I booked School of Rock until over a week after my last audition. So we were expecting something similar with that with 13, but it was the main kids that were cast, at the same time as me. I know there were different kids cast at different times, but we were on a Zoom call with, the whole creative team, and the director, Tamara Davis, said, I want you guys to look around because you're looking at the cast of 13. And we found out on the Zoom call that we booked it, and that was definitely something to remember.
That is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that really felt like a dream come true for me. It was, like it was really so surreal for me. Like I was pinching myself. My mom was crying in the background. It was so exciting for me. And, a month later we find ourselves, in quarantine in Toronto, but yeah, it was really something else.
So both of your characters are fun characters because they kind of stand out and they're positive and they've got, differences of opinions from everybody else. Can you kind of expand upon that, both of you?
Yeah, Patrice, I feel like is someone that a lot of people will be able to look up to because no matter the situation, she doesn't give up what she believes in. She's very passionate about the things that she values, which are like she's a feminist, she cares about the environment, and those are values that I feel like the popular kids in Walkerton don't value as much. But when Evan moved in next door, she finds herself making friends with him because I like to call Patrice a big city girl in a small town, and she makes friends with the big city boy in the small town. So they have a lot in common.
Yeah, exactly.
What about for you, Jonathan? Your character kind of.
So Archie is a very funny and confident guy. He's a boy who lives with muscular dystrophy. And, he tends to make some jokes about his life circumstances here and there. He's best friends with Patrice, which means he's not really in the cool kid crowd, no offense. And but even so, he can still be swayed by the other kids in the group to do not so good things, just to get what he wants, which in this case is to kiss Kendra.
What a fun kind of age group to have in a movie. I feel like it's kind of like an unrepresented age group, right? Where it's just like, and it's, wholesome and it's fun and it's cute with everybody singing and dancing. And so how did you guys feel about kind of playing the, 13, what is it, 8th grade, right? How did you feel about playing that age group?
Yeah, I mean, it was really like the ultimate theater camp for me with all of these talented people that are the same age as me. And it was so amazing to experience with the rest of them for 6 months.
Yeah, I feel like being able to represent other middle schoolers and having the chance to have kids watch the movie that we're in and say, oh, I'm just like them. Like they can see themselves on the screen. I think that's so special.
Yeah.
So is this just something that's constantly in your head, these songs? Just you can't get it out?
Yeah, there were moments on set where we were like humming each other's songs. And,
Yeah, I feel like something so special about these songs, though, is that, Jason Robert Brown's music is timeless. These songs were in the Broadway musical 13, and they were relevant in the 2000s, and they're still relevant in 2022.
So I thought this was such a great age to kind of represent. I feel like they're like, we're not represented enough besides High School Musical or whatever. And so did you guys enjoy that, this middle school age was kind of represented?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a positive experience. Middle school can be a little hard, but in this one, it was great.
And also like the theme of, because middle school can be so intense. This kind of showed that a little bit with the popular kids and the unpopular kids. But I like that one of the themes was that you got to love everybody, and everybody's worth it. And Frankie, I know your character kind of is at the front of all that. So
right. But
kind of
what's Star Wars without Darth Vader? Like,
you needed that character. You're right. You're right.
She was needed because if Lucy wasn't there, it would be too easy for Brett and Kendra. I'm sorry. I had to be there.
Yeah,
what do you
stir the pot.
How did you feel like she had to learn? Like, what did you feel like she had to learn?
Well, that's an interesting one. I feel like Lucy learned a lot because she learned that friendship is the most important thing. Like, sure, boys come and go, but your best friend will always be there for you. So,
did this all like conjure up these memories from middle school for you guys? And it definitely did for me. But I mean, it was a positive environment though, so that was good.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely did.
So what was the song that really was the one that kept in your head? I'd like you guys to all go around and tell me what the song was that really like just kept coming up. Just you kept thinking about it. Frankie, do you want to start?
OPP. That song is so catchy, and it's always in my head. We were always rehearsing it. It was always playing somewhere around me. So it was really instilled in my brain, and it still is to this day.
What about for you, Lindsay?
It's probably a tie between I've Been Waiting and Tell Her. You know, they're just great songs. And like Frankie said, they were all playing around us all the time. So they were all constantly going in my head.
JD?
Tell Her. It just has to be, you know, it's so beautiful. I love it.
From this experience, what do you guys hope to take? You know, because I feel like it was probably a great environment on the set and you guys all had a lot of fun. But what do you hope to take from it and kind of learn from it?
Well, it was a great learning experience being on set because there's such a huge cast, but everyone was so professional and we got along in real life and we were always hanging out. So occasionally we would have our laughs on set and we'd have to be like, okay, we need to focus.
Right.
It was really amazing. And I got to learn something new from each and every person. So.
For me, I would say the lesson I learned is like consistency is key. You know, during rehearsal, you have to constantly work at your craft, and you know, in order to do that, consistency has to be there.
JD, what about you?
Yeah, I would kind of how Lindsay said, consistency is key. Just having a good work ethic and just knowing when to buckle down and get your lines learned, and you know, just separate when to do whatever you want and when to actually do what you need to do.
Yeah, because it is a lot of work to be doing the singing and dancing and acting all in one movie, but it makes it fun, but it is a challenge. What was your guys' favorite elements? The acting, the singing? I guess we'll go around again.
Honestly, all of it was so fun, but I did enjoy being able to sing and dance at the same time, like in front of the camera. So the musical numbers were probably my favorite.
Yeah, I totally agree. The singing and dancing together was so fun.
Yeah, what they said. I can't even really.
I love it. I thought it was
really separate them.